So I'm going to say something about wood plastic composites, which are getting pretty popular these days. First invented in the 1990s. Abbreviated WPCs, and the issue here is one of getting an intimate mixture of wood particles in a polymer matrix. So the wood doesn't really act as a reinforcement, because in order for something to act as a reinforcement in a composite, it needs to have quite a high aspect ratio, something like that. And whereas the wood particles in wood plastic composites are more like that. So that kind of shape isn't going to act as a reinforcement, it's going to act more as a filler. So it will make the material stiffer. And the sort of percentages by weight that they add the wood, I think it's probably something like 60%, 70%, something like that. The issue here is that the wood itself, as we've seen many, many times, is characterized by being pretty rich in hydroxyl groups. And hydroxyl groups love water, so wood is a hydrophilic material, hydro-water, philic loving, whereas the polymer that we put it in, usually polypropylene, abbreviated PP sometimes, that doesn't have any hydroxyl groups on, so it's water-hating, hydrophobic, water-repelling, hydrophobic, hydro-water, phobic-hating. So we've got the classical oil-water not mixing situation. Sorry, oil-water not mixing. So we have to encourage the wood particles to interact with the polymer. And the way that that's done is to use something called an interfacial coupling agent, a very common strategy in composites, and also a strategy that's employed by nature, because of course that's the role the hemicelluloses play in the wood cell wall, which is itself a composite. And the most commonly used interfacial coupling agent for wood plastic composites is maleic, anhydride. I shall have to go to school to learn how to write. Maleic anhydride polypropylene. And that is abbreviated MAPP and quite often called MAP. Maleic anhydride polypropylene has got lengths of hydrocarbon chain which are compatible with the polypropylene itself. So they can entangle with the polypropylene, and then we have embedded in the chain or attached to the chain in some way these maleic anhydride moieties, and I'm showing this in the anhydride form, but actually because of the presence of water in the wood or presence of water in the atmosphere, these will ring open, so you actually end up with structures which are, just got to get it right, C double bond O, OH, structures like this. So the important thing is the presence of our friends, the hydroxyl groups. So those hydroxyl groups are compatible with the wood. So those are attracted to the wood, and these bits are attracted, not attracted, well, they're compatible with the polymer itself. And the other thing you need to do is have very, very high shear mixing. Shear means sliding, one thing sliding past another. And the way that's normally achieved is to use something called an extruder, or sometimes high shear mixers of various types. So the idea is to get a lot of energy into that mix, high shear mixers, is to get a lot of energy into that system, particularly to get this chain entanglement. The sorts of extruders that are used. If any of you ever do light board lectures, you'll be told by the person that runs the camera, never stand in front of the thing you're drawing. So I'm being very bad at the moment, but I'm going to get out of the way. So we have two extruder screws here, which can be counter rotating. And the idea is to induce movement of particles through here, and as they go through there you get this rubbing effect, this high shear effect, and that gives you the mixing. And out the end pop little pellets of wood plastic composite. I'm now going to get out of the way.